Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Excuse me. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Getting close to another Football Friday, y'all. Remember the free Friday night clinic, great part of the services Brock offers any high school athlete, cheerleader, band member, whatever, can go get checked out by a doctor for free on Friday night after the game over at Brock on Bluebonnet near Perkins. Parish Construction Roofing, big news. The Fortified portal opens today. If you've been hearing us talk about a Fortified roof, you're interested, now is the day to apply. Do not wait. Call Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuild.com, parishbuild.com. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Unique Physique, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Learn more. Have the whole thing over telemed, and they can ship their medicine anywhere in the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. And then, of course, if you've got pain, book a session with Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. All right, y'all, I guess we can put to bed the Brian Kelly culture thing. Thankfully, that can be done now. If you missed Kyren Lacy on AFR on Tuesday, or somebody decided he wanted to get up at 7 o'clock this morning. If you missed Kyren Lacy Tuesday on AFR, really good interview. Had about a 12-minute sit down with him. You catch the entire interview, AFR on demand, however you get podcast search after further review, or on the AFR LSU YouTube channel if you want to catch it. But if you missed it, here's what Kyren Lacy said when I asked him about Brian Kelly on AFR. I'm waiting for it to process. Sorry. When I has now it's just spinning. Okay. Also, I'll get to that here in a second. Also, good convo yesterday with Gordon. Was in studio for about 30 minutes, and a good chunk of that we spent talking about the NIL documentary, of which he is very prominently featured, and then also kind of LSU's NIL plan. He did say on the record that he talked about DeCorian Moore. He talked about the defensive end from 24 who went to Texas. Colin Simmons. I was thinking Chad Simmons. I'm like, that's the recruiter. Colin Simmons. So Colin Simmons wanted to go to LSU. Liked what they said, but Texas just dumped a big pile of money. Got to the point where you couldn't say no. So happens. Anyway, all right. Here was Kyren Lacy on Brian Kelly.
And you mentioned your dream to play at LSU. Well, Brian Kelly gave you that opportunity after 2 years with the Cajuns. You've now been here for as long as Brian Kelly's been here. What's it been like to play for and play under and be coached by Brian Kelly?
My guy, Coach Kelly, man, it's amazing because he literally transformed me as a player, like not just on the field, but off of the field. Like my mental has grown. It's like it's not about me anymore. It's about the team. So I have to. He made me like realize that I have to put the team first, and everything else is going to come. So once, because when I always talk about like the little details, I get that from Coach Kelly because all those. Because when you sit back and watch and really pay attention, the little details do show up. The little details that you think don't show up, they show up every single time. So when I talk about details, discipline, winning, because we all want to win. Coach Kelly always emphasizes win, what's important now. So that's how I go about it. Coach Kelly helped me tremendously on and off of the field.
It's pretty powerful. So I guess we can put that conversation to bed. All right, we'll say some good mornings here. Y'all fire away, smash the like button. You know the drill. Anything about anything. Brian Wynn, good morning. Hey, Juan, Saints are going to the Super Bowl. Always believed in Dennis Allen, always wink. Glenn LeBlanc, morning, who dat? Deborah Coward, good morning. Thanks for all you do for Louisiana sports. Deborah, thanks for listening. Very kind of you to say. I don't know what I do for Louisiana sports, Deborah, but talk about it and create content around it, and hopefully that brings everybody some enjoyment. So thank you for the kind words. Thank you for watching, as always. Love to see you here in the mornings. What up? Avid Inspection Specialist. By the way, y'all, our friends at Avid Inspection Specialist. Avid inspection specialists fired up one of our new sponsors for Scone and Tea. So we will be at Curbside, T-Bob and I, tomorrow, Thursday, and Thursdays heretofore. Scone and Tea returns, presented by Bayou Transformers and Avid Inspection Specialists. Christian, I just had it out on my coffee yet, dog. That's the reason why I stumbled over that a little bit. And we're excited, man. Curbside will be a great spot for it. Very family friendly. You want to come have a burger? They got. It's really cool because you can bring the kids. They have this outdoor area where we'll be doing the show. It's fenced in. Kids can run around and play while parents can have a burger, have a beer, whatever. A little cocktail, glass of wine, and hopefully T-Bob and I can entertain you for a bit. So if you're interested, Scone and Tea returns tomorrow, Thursday, and each Thursday moving forward at 7 p.m. Trying to drive a lot of business around Thursday night football. So if you want to come out and hang out, they got TVs everywhere outside at Curbside. T-Bob and I will be there for the show 7 o'clock on Thursday. Taylor, morning, Matt. Love to hear from Kyren Lacy. Do you think he'll be a first-round pick in the draft? I think he's got the potential to be. If he continues with this level of productivity this year for the entire season. Do I have a stain on this shirt? Oh. That's a shadow or a stain. Anyway, if he continues at this level of productivity, so, I mean, through 3 games, got 5 touchdowns. I mean, if he ends up with a 20-touchdown season and 1,000 yards, yeah, I do. You know, he's kind of proven he's a top tier wide receiver. So been fun to watch. Trivia, good morning. Juan, my cousin from Ecuador, is a sophomore at Loyola. I'm taking him to his first LSU game this weekend. Any tips? Juan, I mean, my thought is obviously get there early and tailgate. It's a 2:45 kickoff, so you're going to have to tailgate early, which kind of stinks. Or you could tailgate after the game, because I'm sure for like those types of games, people will hang out in the parking lot, watch the evening games. I always recommend, man, get there to Victory Hill to watch the team walk down, watch the band walk down. You see Mike the Tiger, do all that stuff there on North Stadium. It's a good thing to do. Irfan Sayad, Gamogan, Hunter Eilers, morning. Who's calling the game on ABC Saturday? I do. I have to find my list. Doggone it. Game notes. Let's send this game notes now. Sorry, I'm not going to waste any more time doing that. I'm sorry. I should have been able to find that way quicker, and I didn't ask, and I can't find my game notes. I'm sorry. Tim Gotro, Kelly Gross, Trivia Carter, good golf courses in Baton Rouge, Santa Maria, Beaver Creek, championship-style golf courses that are Breck courses. So Breck Golf, great sponsor on After Further Review. Look, there's some private courses like the Baton Rouge Country Club and Country Club Louisiana. But Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, Beaver Creek's in Zachary, just north of Baton Rouge. And, of course, Santa Maria is in southeast Baton Rouge, right on the EBR Ascension line. 2 public Breck courses that are amazing. I would recommend playing Santa Maria or Beaver Creek. Or if you're looking for an easier municipal course, Webb Park, affordable, right in the middle of Baton Rouge, right off College Drive. Another Breck course. Chris, good morning. Can you get a government rebate on the Fortified roof? Yes. So, Chris, this is the whole point about Fortified. The grants are, it's a $10,000 grant for a fortified roof. And when you install a fortified roof, it will lower your insurance cost, depending on who your insurance carrier is, by as much as 50%. It depends on your insurance carrier. Every carrier has a different rate. So it's worth checking. So my point is, if, let's say you had roof damage, do a replacement, you file a claim, you pay your deductible, and you fortify your roof, if you get approved for a fortified roof, they give you a $10,000 grant. Well, you can use that grant. What if your deductible is less than 10, anyway, you could sort of do the math a little bit, but yes, it's a $10,000 grant to install a fortified roof. Wacky Chris, good morning. Brandon Tilley, morning from Miami work conference. Okay, not a bad place to be. Cajun Country, listened to Gordon yesterday. Was he saying that the coaching staff had a messaging problem? Was I reading too much into it? Yeah, I didn't read that at all. I think what he was saying was he thinks the coaches, it would go a long way for the coaches to have some transparency with the fans. I think Brian Kelly does a fantastic job with that. But I think what he was saying by extension was like letting Joe Sloan and Blake Baker, tell that story as well. So, no, I don't think, unless if that's what you're talking about there, if you're talking about messaging to the fans, Sean. Weston, good morning. Jacob, good morning. Wendell, Russell, morning from Raleigh. What do you want to see against UCLA? A stress-free game, Russell. Goofy. I want to see a stress-free game, Russell. That's what I want to see. I want to see LSU cakewalk and cover the 24.5. Mickey. UCLA is a terrible football team, y'all. They just lost on their home field at the Rose Bowl. Erica just texted me. Did he fill out the web form? ? Yeah, Russell. I want to look. That's what I was doing. Indiana went to UCLA and won 42-13. It was 14-0 in the first quarter. It was 21-7 at half. And then Indiana outscored UCLA 14-3 in the fourth quarter. Like, it was never close. It was never a game, and this should never be a game. In Tiger Stadium, that is a poorly coached team. That is not a talented team, and you should absolutely blow the doors off of them in Tiger Stadium. Damon Gilmore, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Great interview with Gordon. Thank you, man. What, buddy? Hey, come see Dad's show. I want you to come say good morning. We're going to get dressed and go for our Dad's car in New St. Lillian. Come on, let's say Gummalgan, everybody. Okay. What day is today?
Hump day.
Hump day. Hey. I know what you were eyeing. Okay, it is a hump day. Hey, what do you say to everybody? What do you say to Dad's show?
Hi, Dad's show.
Oh, that was polite. I love you. Hey, can you say good morning?
Good morning, Dad.
Okay, are you trying to go? Okay. I love you. Well, thanks for stopping by. His butt says bear cheeks. It's bears on it. Bears. Like BEAR, but bear cheeks. Bear. All right. Let's see. Bailey, angst around LSU is almost that Ole Miss and Tennessee are great, and you're not. Meanwhile, BK is preaching patience. Okay. Let's see. Bailey, you got a cool couple mil sitting around. You want to go buy some players? If you do, let's talk about it, man. Tiger Diver, Brad David, good morning. You think Carmichael's system didn't fit Derek Carr? I think that's part of it. I think it didn't fit your offensive line. Clearly, it didn't fit Alvin Kamara. I think the wide zone concepts have been transformative in the running game, and that has opened up play action passing. I think that's what's happening very clearly. So my real interest here is going to be, okay, how does this when teams start to adjust defensively to what the Saints are doing, what's the Saints counterpunch? Quentin, good morning. Charlie, good morning. Powerful stuff from Lacy. Thanks for sharing. Man, thanks to Kyren for coming on, and thanks to Duplessis. Duplessis Builders, one of our great sponsors. Hey, Dane, good morning. They did an NIL deal with Kyren, and they worked into it's a my great benefit. They worked into their deliverables with Kyren that he come on the show 4 times. So that was one of them. So we'll have Kyren at least 3 more times this year. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. Chance, I watched Locked on South Carolina after the game. It was a 30-minute attack on the refs. Now the game was stolen. That's our guy, Chris Marler. Michael Cook, good morning. Phil Smith, good morning, Matt. What changes are you looking to see from LSU this week? Well, I would like to see them not give up a 70-yard touchdown run because that's been 3 of those in the last 2 weeks. 66, 67, and 75. That's number 1. And I would love to see them continue to make progress in the running game. That's what I would really like to see. Jason Horn, Cliff Nelson, good morning. New Saints fan. So Cliff is our noted Dallas Cowboy fan who, boy, that had to be a rough day on Sunday. Elijah Steele, morning, Matt. Interesting stats I found. Defensive havoc rate, 21.8. Offensive EPA 16th. Defensive EPA 50th. Okay. I'm not opposed to looking at advanced metrics. They're all great and good and to look into that stuff. And yes, I think this defensive approach, when you understand you're not going to be great, it's cause havoc. You may give up a lot of yards, but can you force the fumble? Can you get the interception? Can you get the TFL on 3rd and 5? I think that's more what this defense is looking for. Mark, safe to say Dennis Allen has his version of Joe Brady. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Y'all know how I feel about the Joe Brady experiment. The Joe Brady offense was such a farce. Joe Brady was not the be-all, end-all of that offense. That was the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Thad Moss, Damian Lewis, Lloyd Cushenberry, Sadiq Charles offense. That's what that was. Steve Ensminger called the plays. Steve Ensminger worked with the quarterbacks. Joe Brady worked with receivers and wasn't the play caller. It has always perplexed me how Joe, I mean, he won the Broyles, how so many people gave Joe Brady so much more credit than he deserved for 2019. Rocky, great article yesterday. Hope the 49er game didn't rain on your honeymoon. So I have a piece up at a column up at LouisianaSports.net yesterday. Thanks to everybody who read it. And we're talking about the premise is how this is the first time I've had fun watching the Saints since 2018. I went through like my history as a Saints fan, and I mentioned in January of 12. So Eric and I got married. I've told you this before, but I'll repeat it for those who haven't heard it. So Eric and I got married on January 13th, 2012, which is a Friday 13th. Monday of that week was January the 9th. That's when LSU lost to Bama 21-0. So Monday, LSU loses to Bama in the national championship game. Friday, we get married. Saturday, the Saints play the 49ers in the divisional round game. And that was the 2011 Saints, which was the best offense, most productive offense in NFL history. That was the great Saints team that just happened to be a year where Green Bay went 15-1. And so the Saints had to travel in the divisional round to the 49ers. And they lost that game. Great game. Jimmy Graham, late score. Vernon Davis, Alex Smith of Vernon Davis won it, broke our hearts. I mean, it was a miserable week for football fans in this state. In a matter of a week, LSU's greatest season ever got dashed in embarrassing fashion by their former coach and a team they had already beaten. And then the Saints' greatest team ever lost in dramatic fashion in the divisional round of playoff game. Well, Eric and I got married on Friday. We didn't go on our honeymoon Saturday. We waited till Sunday. So Saturday, I'm sitting there watching the divisional round playoff game. Like, our bags are packed. We're going, like, we were flying out of New Orleans the next morning, like a Sunday morning early. So Saturday night, we were staying at one of the hotels right by the airport in New Orleans to get up and be right there just to go. And the Saints lose that game. And like, after LSU had just lost, I mean, if you could put yourself back in that mental, right? What that was like. LSU lost to Bama, the manner in which they did, and then the Saints lose. And the way they lost that game, and Erica's like, this is going to ruin our honeymoon. And I was like, give me 10 minutes. And I just went and sat in my office for like 10 minutes and just stewed and didn't say anything. And I was like, just get me the bleep out of this country. Like I needed to get far. So I went to St. Lucia. I needed to get far away from it all. So it actually ended up being perfect. Let's see. Cliff, where's Curbside? On Government, right next to Calandro's on Government. Chris, Scone and T returns. Ronnie Duga, Gorilla. Did you reach out to this John fella about his article for a comment since you have a work relationship with him? Hunt had him on his show 2 days ago. Talking about John Talty. Hunt had him on his show 2 days ago. I think that's sufficient. So no, Hunt did, and that's fine. I gave Hunt John's number, and Hunt had him on. Jamie Leday, Brent St. Germain, Don Tecco. Hello, Matt. Did you hear any update on the block punt ruling league was supposed to get back to LSU on? No, Brian Kelly on Monday was asked about it. He said he was expecting to hear, as he said, within the hour. That was the time on Monday. We hadn't heard yet. So Brian Kelly has availability this morning. There was no media availability yesterday for coaches. Brian Kelly will be on the SEC teleconference at 10 this morning. So it's 7:42. So in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I'm sure someone will ask him then. What's your take on the lackluster linebacker play, that being Blake Baker's position? I don't think it's been lackluster. I think Whit Weeks has been great. Greg Penn was one of your highest rated defensive players this past week. If you're talking about Harold Perkins, I think that's just been the challenge that they've had for the last 2 years is finding a home for him, and he's just better suited at the Sam. He's better suited on the outside than he is on the inside, and hopefully he continues to be more productive that way. Bubba, good morning. Joe Tess and Jesse Palmer have the call this weekend. That is so disappointing. Leon Williams, morning Scone. Looks like PFF graded the OL very well. Even Penning did a decent, was graded middle of the pack. If the Saints win the Super Bowl, would Ryan Ramczyk be included as a member of the team? Yes, because Ryan Ramczyk is still on the roster. And the interesting thing about Penning is we did look at his PFF grade yesterday. So Trevor Penning's PFF, his pass block grade against Dallas was like a 20-something. Boom. I'll tell you right now. Give me 2 seconds. There it is. So Trevor Penning, load. There we go. Trevor Penning against Dallas. So against Carolina, his grade was a 68.2. His pass block was 76.8, run block 62.9. Against Dallas, his overall grade was a 57.0. Run block 64, pass block 26.7. And you still won 44-19. Cajun Country, Club Ruckus, what up, Club? Thoughts on the penalty of disconcerting signals. So Brian Kelly explained it Monday. One of them was, I believe it was Greg Penn. He like slapped his knee pads, like his thigh pads, to try to simulate the clap. So that was valid. The other was Savion Jones. Whenever they shift in unison, he kind of did this motion with his hands. And so apparently if you're shifting in unison, it has to be all at once, and it has to be a natural move. Like when you're shifting, moving your hands like that is not a natural move. So he was simulating getting upfield to entice the lineman to jump off side or to false start, which he did. So Brian Kelly said they're both good calls. Okay, I got to get going, y'all. Let's see if we can get a few more. Patrick, pumped for this weekend's games. Mark Allen, love it, God, please be a cakewalk. Club, Could fans crowd have an effect on that call? Maybe. Ben Giat, Thibodeau's proud. Kyren, thanks for having him on yesterday. He's been fantastic, man. Gary, good morning. Charlie, Indiana routed UCLA. I know it's Moo U and no one really cares, but see the Bulldogs got whipped by Toledo. Did see that. Toledo's a good program, actually. Like, their coach there is Jason Candle. Done a good job, man. 8 seasons at Toledo. They've won 2 MAC championships, 3 West Crowns, 7 bowl appearances. Like, he's made Toledo a respectable mid-major. And boy, they went into Starkville and got it done, didn't they? Let's see. Strong side. Good morning, Coach O to the Gators. Make it happen. Dick Tilley, good morning from Richard's dad. Good morning, Mr. Tilley. Of course, Richard Tilley is our fearless leader with Parrish Construction and Roofing. One of my partners there, of course, the straw that stirs the drink, the man whom without we would cease to exist. So awesome all-around man, husband, father as well. So love all my partners over at Parrish. Bailey, what's good? Are they where you thought they'd be in year 3? Ask me that at the end of the season, Bailey. Rusty is Hilton back this weekend. No word yet, but hopeful. Jeff, what up, my dude? Abner, David, good morning from the Springs. Hunter, where does Jimmy put his NFL picks? He does just on air. I mean, I'm happy to share them, tweet them, all that sort of stuff. But they say him on the air. David, happy birthday to the Air Force. All right. Bailey, Brady gets credit because of all the people you mentioned were there in 18, went 9-3. The big difference is Joe Burrow took a giant step forward, and Joe Brady had nothing to do with that. Also, Jamar Chase spent part of 2018 injured, so didn't play the full season. Justin Jefferson was your leading receiver in 2018. Clyde emerged in 2019, which really didn't have anything to do with Joe Brady. I guess the old saying is correlation doesn't equal causation. Just because Brady showed up, it doesn't mean that's why the offense took a step forward. The offense took a massive step forward because Joe Burrow took a massive step forward. And again, Steve Ensminger is the one that worked with quarterbacks and called all the plays. So it wasn't Joe Brady. But by that account, then why did Jake Pete show up running the Joe Brady offense and they fell flat on their face? Anyway, all right, I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Locked on LSU's Live. Please listen on your favorite podcast app.